What's up, guys? My name is Shelby. I'm a photographer here in Hawaii, and this is what's in my camera bag. This is not the setup that I would use for every single shoot. This is just what I would carry on a day-to-day basis if there are no plans. If you guys have any questions about this gear, I'm going to put all the links down below somewhere. I'm not sure, this is my first YouTube video, so we'll see. Let's jump into it. Before we get into the bag, I'm using my Canon 5D Mark IV and my Tamron 24-70 G2 to film this. So starting off with my camera bag, it's made by a German company whose name I cannot pronounce. I did some work a while ago for them and they gave me a bag in exchange for the video that I made. It's made out of waxed canvas and Scottish leather. It's pretty minimalistic. It has two outside pockets, one in the front and one on the side. In the front pocket I usually keep some business cards. In the side pocket I keep batteries and film. Inside you can see it holds all of my camera gear, keeps it pretty well protected. It has a laptop sleeve, can fit up to a 16-inch. It also has these Velcro organizer things, which can stick pretty much anywhere in the bag. I kind of just keep a few little odds and ends like hair ties and batteries in them. So first up we've got the DJI Mavic Pro 2. I use this for aerial photography, obviously. I do some videos with it as well. Size of it, overall quality is great. I've blown up some photos I've taken off of this thing to 50 inches and it's retained most of its detail, doesn't look too grainy or anything. Next up is the DJI Osmo Action. Now this I use for mostly BTS, sometimes B-roll, it just depends. Mostly an underwater camera for me. I use it when I am using my primary camera as a photo camera. It's just cool to have that video while you're taking photos. Next up is my Pelican case for the SD cards. This is great because it's waterproof. It's big enough to hold most of the things that I need, not too many problems there. It's sealed, I can drop it in water and not have to worry about losing any data. And then we've got the lenses. This first one is my 16-35 2.8-2. This is my go-to lens for most shots that I take. I really like the wide 16mm focal length for those really minimalist single subject shots. And then the 35 is just awesome for portraits and people shots while still getting some of the background in the shot as well. Next up is my Canon 100-400. I use this for those really compressed shots of mountains and landscapes and things like that. It's not the sharpest lens, but you know, it gets the job done. Next up is the hard drive of choice, which is the LaCie, the Orange Boy, whatever you want to call it. I use these pretty much exclusively when it comes to storing photos and videos and things like that on the road. I've dropped several of these and haven't lost any files to the best of my knowledge. So yeah, thumbs up there. Next up is my working drive, which is the Samsung T3. It's an SSD drive that I just kind of slap on the back of my computer when space is limited and I want to work on the go. Next we've got my Narbox 2.0. This is kind of a semi-new edition. I don't use it too much really, or at least to the best of its capabilities. The display actually is really helpful when I'm just trying to back up cards. It's also cool just to be able to preview files not on the back of your camera if you're trying to save battery or things like that. Next we have the film camera of choice. I like to shoot film, and this Olympus Infinity Stylus, or Olympus Stylus Infinity, whichever it is just a cool little point and shoot. It's got a 35mm 3.5 prime, and it's just kind of fun to pull out and throw some black and white film in and get some candids of friends and family just in the moment. Next is my Contax G2. Now this is one of the most recent film editions. This thing shoots really tack sharp 35mm with the Carl Zeiss glass on the front of it. I'm using the 45mm f2 version. Super sharp. It's awesome because I can also shoot fully automatic and just kind of use it as a point and shoot and still get really tack sharp images. It is rangefinder style, which means when you're looking through the viewfinder you don't actually see what's in focus with your eye. You have to read a meter to tell you what's actually in focus, unlike most SLR cameras. Since we're talking about film cameras, my film stock of choice is Ilford HP5. I use this most of the time when I'm doing street photos and pretty exclusively underwater. I've used color underwater, but it just gets really washed out because the sun reflects off of particles and it just, in my opinion, doesn't look super great. The last camera that I have in my bag is the Nikonos 5. Now this is my underwater film camera. I use this in tandem with my digital camera. I've got a 28mm lens on the front of it, which isn't too wide, but it also isn't too zoomed in, so I can still kind of get some cool minimalist shots of like turtles or dolphins or people or whatever. It is also a rangefinder style. However, the focus and aperture adjustments are on the front of the lens, so you have to turn the camera around and adjust your settings that way, which is sometimes difficult to do if there's a fleeting shot in front of you. Next, I've got this little accessory from Airfly. I found it at the Apple store when I was walking through one day. It's really cool because it's actually a receiver and a transmitter. I can plug this into my car and stream audio from Spotify to my car, or I can plug it into something like a Nintendo Switch and then transmit the sound from the Switch to my headphones. And what's actually really cool about this is that you can connect 2 sets of wireless headphones, so you don't have to take one earphone out and share it with someone else. And then AirPods, because, you know, they work well. I have Apple devices, they just connect flawlessly, no problems there. Sound good, better than most of the other ones I've tested. Battery life's pretty decent, no complaints. Other accessories I have are this little mouth mount for the Osmo Action. I use this when I'm trying to get a first-person view, or if I'm trying to free my hands up and still kind of film what's going on. I got it for like $5 on Amazon, super worth it. Next is this little mini like wallet type tripod. I also use this with the Osmo Action when I'm trying to do a time lapse or a star lapse or something, or just get some BTS. And then I've also got this little dust blower rocket thing. I actually ended up cutting off the wings on the rocket because it just wasn't fitting in my bag super well, but this is a must-have if you do any kind of photography or videos near the beach or sand. And then I've got this Canon 2x extender. This is the version 3. I usually use this with my 100 to 400 when I'm trying to get some shots of the moon or maybe some mountains. I don't use this too often because it drops my aperture down to f10 and the photo quality kind of drops when the lighting is pretty low. And lastly, I keep business cards in my bag. You never know who you're gonna meet, and it's just helpful to have something physical that people can assimilate your name with and what you do. These I got from moo.com. They are a bit on the more expensive side, but I haven't had any troubles with smearing or bending like I have with some previous companies in the past. So that's it. That's what I carry. Hope it was helpful. Hope you guys maybe saw some stuff that you liked. If you did, leave it a thumbs up. If not, I'm sorry. I'll try better next time. Gonna throw up another video soon. I don't know about what. Maybe about editing, maybe some underwater stuff. I don't know. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments below. I will try my best to answer. Let's go have some fun.